Gregory? I say Dick Gregory. Was the Playboy Club really the beginning for you out in Chicago?
Applied for a key and didn't have good credit reference, so I got a job.
You take it from there, will you, Richard?
Credit reference had, like, skyrocketed up, and I also found out that comedy is the hardest job in the world today. People are so worried about world problems. Everybody likes to talk to the comedian. You know, in my traveling, if I could believe everything people told me, we wouldn't have a racial problem in this country. Because everybody I meet in the nightclub after they get drunk, they all tell me the same thing. Greg, some of my best friends are colored. And Mike, you know and I know it's not that many of us to go around. Because I like them so well, I had them for parents. About 3 months ago, I worked up in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and everybody told me, said, Greg, you love this state of Minnesota. We have terrific civil rights laws. And in this state, you'd never know you're a Negro. And that's right. But they pick on the Indian. Which means to me, if that Indian ever pack his bag and leave that state of Minnesota, we better get on that next train out of there. And you know, about 10 times a week, I have fellas walk up and ask me the same question. Say, Greg, how come they're not sending white troops to the Congo? Now, how I know? I mean, I don't even know my Social Security number. But if we quit worrying so much and stop and think, you could figure out these questions for yourself. Everyone knows darn good and well why they're not sending white troops to the Congos. War brides. But like I say, this is what comics is up against today. World tensions at its all-time greatest. Kennedy and Khrushchev is arguing over Berlin, and pretty frightening. I think both these men have the one button they can push and do away with the whole world. And the frightening thing about it is Kennedy's button is located in Caroline's playroom. But personally, I'm not worried about a war, nothing like that going on. Anyway, for the next 4 years, we're very lucky in this country. We're fortunate enough, for the first time in the history of this country, to have a president in office that's young enough to get drafted himself. So I think everything will work out, but so many things have been happening. Cubans hijacking airplanes. I can't go down to Mississippi and integrate a washroom. They steal airplane, washroom, passengers, and all. Russia sending all these people to outer space, and everybody back home's getting frightened. Well, it don't bother me. They can send everybody to Russia to outer space. Don't make them no better than me. The last fellow went up, out, made about 27 cycles all the way around, 400,000 miles, and back home in 27 hours, and I bet he's still waiting at the airport for his luggage. I mean, they play it up big and make a big propaganda issue out of it, and we're doing all right in outer space. And Shepard went halfway up, and we brought him back down, but we played it up in the newspapers a week before it happened, televised it. You read the headlines before they shot Shepard up. We don't know which one of the 3 astronauts we're going to pick. I don't think that was true. They didn't know which one of them boys they're going to catch. Then we having problems down in Cuba with Castro, and we letting him get away with it. We talking about we canceled the tractor deal. He probably canceled that deal. He's going to wait for the new models to come out. And we fighting a losing battle in Cuba. The rebels look like they're going to defeat him. All he have to do is shave and join them. Plus, for the last 10 years in this country, we've been stressing long-range guns. Shortest gun we have now is 1,500-mile range. We haven't got a gun to fight Cuba with. Plus, Castro knows 6 months in advance when we're going to make an invasion, he buys Look and Time magazine. And we print all our secrets. That's why if I ever go to war, I'm going to take a television set with me. Put me on one of them long-range guns, I'm going to fire it, then turn on Huntley and Brinkley and see if I hit. But that's life. Everybody have problems. That's the story of my life. Problems, bad luck. My luck been so bad lately, if it hadn't been for bad luck, I wouldn't have no luck at all. But we're doing pretty good in this country. Bobby Kennedy said about 9 weeks ago that 30 years from this year, Negro can become president. So treat me right, I'll get in there and raise taxes on you.
Thank you, Richard. Coming right up now, Playmates and Playboy Bunnies on film and live. And Vic, I want you to stand by, if you will, for some questions about the girls. Right.